Good afternoon, y'all. It is Friday and we are live. So, of course, we are going to give everyone a few minutes to get in. And just like every day, y'all, we have been working really, really hard. Hi, Nuki. Thanks for joining. Hi, Locked In. Thanks for joining as well. As you guys are coming in, if you guys could like the live. Hey, Miss Clarity. Clarity, I've been thinking all day. I finally get to hear her voice.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Janice. Happy
Hi.
Friday.
Yes, happy Friday. Hey, Harlem. Hey, Plot Twist. Flowers, welcome. We're going to give everyone a chance to come on in. I hope you guys have had a great week. And you know, the weekend is coming up, so I hope you all get some rest. Oh, Plot Twist. Thanks for showing love. Thanks for liking the live. Definitely appreciate it. Hi, Jerry. And as everyone is coming in, just a reminder, plot twists, you can't see the prompt. I don't think I put a prompt in, but we are going to be talking about Nolan Wells. Hi, Shayna. Thanks for joining. Just going to give everyone a few more minutes. Oh, yeah. As I was saying, I'm sorry. I forgot. Just so you guys know, we are live Monday through Friday at 4:30 Central Standard Time. Look at Northside. He finally made it at the beginning. Hi, Radical. Thank y'all for joining. Hi, Durka. I see Miss Pretty. I see Shayla. You guys are coming on in. Definitely
Hello,
appreciate it.
where are y'all?
Hey.
Hey. Oh my god.
And also, as you guys are here, we posted the party house. It's the first pin post, and it's also the photo, the host photo. So I wanted you guys to see that. I know you guys were asking, but of course we are going to get in detail about that. So we're going to give everyone a few minutes. We'll probably start around the 4:35 mark, which is where we have been starting. Shayla, thanks for sending the roses.
You're welcome.
Yes, and plot twist. Yes, the pic. Okay. As long as you guys can see the pic, I wanted you guys to see it. Also, we did have to put what do you call it, Shayla? A logo on top because
Watermark.
yes, a watermark. Because if you guys don't know, and I'm just going to just talk just a little bit, we talked about the party house yesterday and no one was talking about it. And then this morning, what do you know? So we're gonna get into it.
We have been ahead on this case, and we have taken some heat for being ahead and talking about things that other people didn't agree with, even mainstream media, even some of the larger podcasters or streamers and our independent media. So we're ahead of the mark again today and yesterday. So we're really kind of proud of that, and we're glad that we can share it with y'all.
Yes. And I know we had some people that did not believe us. Like when we tell y'all things, we research. We're just not going to come up here and say anything. And I'm not saying we are perfect. So if we ever make a mistake, we will do the same as well. So thank you guys for liking. Hi, Mark. Hi, Cypher. I see you popping in.
Has Britt come in yet?
I don't think so. Wait. I'm sorry. I see all these people already requesting. Y'all, thank y'all. We appreciate that. Let me see. No, I don't see Britt yet. And guys, if you are new here, we do let the panel come up first just so that we can make sure that we share everything that we have researched first, and then we'll bring you guys up one by one. Northside said, I have to miss a little till like 3 or 3:30. Well, we just appreciate you guys being here. And I see the mods, Miss Pretty, in the chat. Okay, y'all, it's 4:35. We are going to go ahead and get started. As always, I do want to start the live just reminding you guys about Tonae Miller. I like to say her name every live. Their GoFundMe as well as Nolan Wells GoFundMe. If you guys are able, please go support those. Those GoFundMes are linked in the bio. So Sassy, we haven't verified anything like that, so we don't talk about anything until we can verify it. So also, I did want to let you guys know. I know last week, the photo popped off, and we did come on live. Was that Saturday or Sunday, y'all? I can't remember.
It was Sunday.
Okay. Okay, yes, we came on live Sunday. It wasn't planned, but if that happens again where we go live outside of Monday through Friday, I'm going to put it on top of my notes, and I will let you guys that we are going live, so that way you guys will at least know. And also the time slot will always be the same, the 4:30 Central Standard Time. That way at least that can be consistent. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Also, I want to give a shout out to Britt. She has definitely been assisting in this case, as well as the rest of our panel. So I just wanted to show you guys some love. And also, there have been a lot of you guys sending us tips and everything in our DMs. If you do have tips, definitely feel free to send them to myself or Shayla. But I want you guys to know, just because you send us things, we do have to fact check it and research before we go with it. So I wanted you guys to know that. Shout out to 5 a.m. Coffee Gal for following.
5 a.m. Coffee Gal, I understand you. I understand why you need that coffee at 5 a.m.
Yes, and Watisha, I'm sorry to hear that. Definitely, I'm sorry to hear that. So we are going to go ahead and get started with the topics. So the first thing, I did just want to let you guys know, this morning is when I saw it, but Nolan's mom, Christine, she did announce on her Facebook page that Nolan's repass list is being created. So she did state, if you aren't on the list, you will not be able to enter. So I want you guys, if you guys are not personally invited, we still want to respect the family because they are mourning. So I wanted you guys to know that. Also, I see Sassy in the chat. She says, I'm from Mississippi and I know it's corrupt. And it's not only one color skin, it's all about money. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, Glow, good to see you in the chat. So y'all, now we are going to get into the boat GPS. If you guys don't know, CBS News actually broke on July 15th that they were able to gather the GPS movement of a boat. So I know we are all aware of the movements by now. It was a lot of movement, but I want to play something specifically the audio of them calling for help. So I'm going to play that. Let me turn up my volume. And this is going to be coming from today on YouTube. So here we go. And I'm gonna rewind it just a little bit.
After some of them returned without him, his mom contacted police.
Police reported 18-year-old son, Nolan Wells, missing passing at 3 Upward Island.
And now NBC News has obtained new audio, part of a records request of a call made to a private towing company by some of Nolan's friends.
We're sinking. Can you all please call?
A mom of one of those friends wrote,
Okay, one thing I do want to say, I don't like how they didn't allow the audio to just play. There are snippets, so it's kind of hard to tell what's going on. But I did want to ask you guys, did you guys notice how calm the caller was? And if I'm putting myself in their shoes and I'm sinking on a boat, I would not be able to be calm. I don't know about y'all, but to me, that sounded very odd. So also, in addition to that, Newsweek is reporting. I'm sorry,
Newsmax.
is somebody
News,
trying to say something?
it's Newsmax.
Okay, Newsmax. Okay. They have obtained GPS data, and it's adding more information to the timeline. So on this specific timeline, they said that they are able to verify that a dispatch call actually happened 30 minutes before the boat even took off. So we all can read between the lines, but we do want to get into more fact-based information. So actually today, we are going to introduce some new people in this story. And also, it will be a point in this story where the photo that you guys see under the host, that photo is going to come into play. So I'm going to let Shayla go ahead and take the floor.
Okay, guys. It's a lot. So I want to ask you guys in the comments, and please interact and answer the question. Do you want me to introduce the new characters first, or do you want me to give a timeline of events first? Like, what would help you guys the most? Because we're about to introduce new people and give a lot of things. So I would appreciate if y'all could answer that. Timeline, new characters,
Yes, we just don't want you
timeline,
guys to be confused. So that's why she's asking. Timeline.
timeline, new people, timeline. Okay. Okay. We'll introduce the timeline. Janice, I'm gonna switch. Me and Janice I'm giving Janice production notes at the moment. I'm gonna switch the order of my my audio clips.
It's fine. It's fine. Just tell me what you want.
Okay, so we are going to start at the beginning, and Nolan Xavier Wells had, by all accounts, a good July 3rd, and he cooked dinner for his family. I think really to kind of show appreciation for his mom. If you've not been over to her TikTok account, her July video of them going shopping at Target and Marshalls, because this was the last weekend before he went back to school, and she was getting him ready to go back to school. And then he cooked dinner for the family. He baked salmon. He was really proud of that. So he was very proud that he was able to cook for the family. He then left about, I think she said around 5:30, headed to his friend Jax's place because he was going to spend the night there. From Jax's place, a group of people were all going to meet up and go to Fire Island. We do know that they got on Wyatt's boat, and Wyatt's boat set sail around a little after 10 a or a little before 10 a.m. headed to Horn Island. They got there about 11:15, and that's according to the GPS tracking. We know I think it says 9:58 is when it got going, and it arrived at Horn Island at 11:15. We do know that Nolan was on the island with his friends. There was an altercation, and this is where we will correct ourselves. I still don't like my little tokens, but we will correct ourselves. The altercation was with Tristan and someone else regarding a phone. But when you look at the video, you can clearly see Nolan there. He is over 6 feet tall, His hair is distinguishable. You can tell it is him. That happened around 3 o'clock. Around 3:30 is when the boat apparently was supposed to leave from Horn Island. Wyatt's boat was supposed to leave from Horn Island. At 4 o'clock, yeah, the boat was supposed to leave at 3:30. We know that there was a 911 call about the boat sinking at 3:30, which is the audio clip that Janice just played. The boat officially got going according to the GPS tracker at 4 o'clock. It made several stops in and around Fort Bayou. It looks like it returned back to Horn Island and then went back to Fort Bayou. It was taken out of the water and then driven back to the owner Wyatt's parents' house around 7 o'clock. So around 11 p.m., Miss Christine, Miss Wansley, Nolan's mom, gets a call from Warren. And Warren, his last name is Warren Hudson. Warren tells Mrs. Christine, Nolan's missing. Nobody knows where Nolan is. He was talking to some girl on Horn Island, and her name was Katie McCormick. From here on out, I'm going to refer to her as Katie Kitchen Seasoning. He was talking to Katie Kitchen Seasoning, and he was going to catch a ride back from her with her. And no one knows where he is. She's missing as well, and they don't know who she is. They say they don't know who she is. So Mrs. Warren had also called the Coast Guard. We do know that there are records of him having called the Coast Guard, but the Coast Guard did not take any action to begin a search or anything. They hadn't received notification from the sheriff's office that there was an official missing person, so they didn't take any action. Miss Christine, like, the first thing she does is hang up and she calls her friend, which is Javion's mom, and she's like, hey, I'm told Nolan's missing. Where are your boys? Is Nolan with them? So Javion's mom calls Javion, and Javion goes, no, I haven't seen Nolan since earlier today at Horn Island. And then she hangs up and she calls her other son. And he was like, I haven't seen Nolan. No, but it shows on a Snapchat that he's at this location. So I guess she calls back Miss Wansley and was like, it's showing on Snapchat he's here. And she's like, well, Life 360 shows that he's on land, but he's at a different location from what you're saying he's at on Snapchat. So Javion's mom and his brother and a friend go to the location of where it says Nolan is at on Snapchat. She knocks on the door. And Warren comes to the door, and she's like, can I get Nolan's phone? Nolan's missing. Can I get his phone? You have his phone, because the location, his Snapchat location, is showing he's here. Warren goes, oh yeah, I left it in my truck. And he closes the door on her. And he says, one of the girls will go get it, and he closes the door on her. It takes an extremely long time she says an extremely long time. It took about 20 minutes, is what she said in an interview, for them to bring the phone back. She noted the time because when he gave her the phone, she was like, what do you have to do? Go all the way back to Horn Island to get this phone. And I am going to note, please pay attention to the fact that it took 20 minutes. We have verified why it took 20 minutes. Why, that was one of the things that we researched today. We understand why it would have taken 20 minutes with him saying it was in his truck. So also around this time, while they're collecting the phone, Miss Wansley is trying to put in a missing persons report with the sheriff's, Jackson County Sheriff's Department. They say, that's not our jurisdiction. She calls MDMR, which is Mississippi Department for Marine Resources, which is like the Coast Guard. And they're like, nope, not our jurisdiction. She then calls the Ocean Springs PD, and they're like, no, it's not our jurisdiction. And so as she's talking to the Ocean Springs PD, the Jackson County Sheriff's dispatcher calls her back, was like, hey, check in to see if you were able to file your missing persons report. And she's like, no, everybody keeps saying it's not our jurisdiction. And this woman literally had to put on the Jackson County Sheriff's Department with the Ocean Springs PD department for them to discuss that whose jurisdiction it was. So they determined it was actually the Sheriff's Department jurisdiction, and they took her missing persons report. So at 12:30 a.m., Nolan Wells is officially known as a missing person. It would take almost a whole day before the Coast Guard actually sprung into action. It is blowing up on social media. People are like, hey, where's Nolan? Where's Nolan? Nolan's college football coach calls his dad at 5 a.m. because he sees everything that's going on social media. And he's like, hey, I have a boat. Let's go out looking for Nolan. And so the dad and the coach go out looking for Nolan. Around 6 a.m., they reach the northwest tip of Horn Island. And I want y'all to pay attention to the northwest tip. It's the reason why all of the boats and everything, that's the first part of the island you reach. So the northwest tip of Horn Island. They don't see Nolan. They see people who have camped out on the island overnight. They say they haven't seen Nolan. They walk around some. They also drive around the island in the boat. They don't see him. He's, for all intent and purposes, he is not on the island at all. So they can't find him. The Cajun Navy gets involved, and they begin searching. They even flew drones over the island. Everybody is looking for Nolan Wells. At this time, at the time that Mr. Wansley makes it back to land, he needs to go pick up Nolan's car, which is parked at his friend Jax's house. So he takes two of Nolan's friends are already at Jax's house. They're outside. I don't know why they're already there, but they're already there. They are trying to get Nolan's things. So Mr. Wansley is like, y'all need to calm down. Let me handle it. And he knocks on the door, and Jax comes to the door. He's all disheveled looking. And he introduces himself. He's like, I'm Nolan's dad. I'm here to get his things. I need the keys to his car. And Jax goes, Nolan was like a brother to me. He's talking in past tense. And which is strange because Nolan is just missing at this time. So Mr. Wansley's like, hey, if he's like a brother to you, can you do me a favor and go find go in your room and find his keys? So Jax again starts to pretend like he doesn't know where Nolan's keys are. By that time, Nolan's friends who are with Mr. Wansley call some girl. And the girl is like, well, they're on. She had been at Jax's house and she had seen Nolan's keys on the Xbox. So they hang up with her. I'm assuming she called Jax, and all of a sudden, oh, thank you for the gift. All of a sudden, Mr. Jax comes to the door with Nolan's keys. I want to also mind you that they called the police on Nolan's father and on his friends, which, I can't imagine why you would do that, considering he's really just trying to get his son's car, which is parked in your yard or your side driveway area. And that's all he's trying to do. So all day long, people are looking, searching. This story is catching fire on social media. Like everybody's like, where's Nolan? What happened to him? People have said that, they saw the group of friends out getting breakfast or lunch together. And when they said, hey, why aren't you out, looking for Nolan? They allegedly responded, y'all think we did it anyway, which again is odd. Mind you, they have boats. We know of at least 2 of them in this group. Wyatt has multiple boats that he has access to. Warren has multiple boats that he has access to. You know that Nolan's family they don't have boats, and not because they can't afford a boat. They're just not boating people. But you have a boat and you could offer that help, and they are not offering that help. Again, no one knows where Nolan is, and all of a sudden on Monday morning, at about 8:45, a park ranger on Horn Island finds Nolan's body on the northwest tip of Horn Island. And that is where we're going to play our first audio. And I think it will answer, someone had in the chat, they wanted to know about the condition of Nolan's body. This audio will answer some of that. So Janet, this is the audio of
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go, y'all. Let me cut my volume up.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go, y'all. Let me cut my volume up. Okay. Sorry, that's me with feedback. Okay.
PM with Folded News. I spoke with the sheriff about Nolan Wells. He stated to me that the body found on Horn Island is likely to be Nolan's. Has there been an official statement yet from the coroner confirming?
No, there has not. The deceased that was found does match the description of Nolan Wells, as well as the clothing. There's no reason to believe it's not him, but just given the circumstances and the condition of the remains, we're doing a DNA test to confirm 100% that it is him.
Were there signs of foul play or?
Their autopsy will be conducted tomorrow morning, so I don't have any information as to that at this time.
Okay, and do you know who?
The autopsy will tell us those details.
Do you know who found the body?
Yes, it was a park ranger with the National Park Services on the island.
Okay. What time did the coroner get notified about the body being found?
They found the body shortly after 8:40 a.m. and called me immediately and notified me.
And were there any other bodies, like any other person reported missing?
No.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge, not that I've been made aware of, or anything like that.
Is this is this common for Jackson?
But a death like this?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've had deaths out at the island before, but I mean, I'm not going to say a death like this is common, but I mean, yes, water deaths do occur, but I can't say whether or not that's what has taken place here until we get the results back from the autopsy tomorrow.
Yeah. I just thank you so much for giving me this information.
Well, that's no problem at all. If you need anything further, just let me know.
All right, thank you. Hi.
Okay.
So I want to point out to you guys, and I shared it with you a couple of days ago, there is data with the National Weather Service about deaths that are caused by riptide, currents, getting caught in the riptide, heavy current, or heavy waves, surf waves. There have been no deaths in Horn Island based on any of those conditions in the past since January of 2026. None. The previous year, there were 0. I also researched, I was like, maybe there's been another type of death by another way that I am not familiar with. Apparently, I think it was 2023, in the early 20s sometime, a guy fell off of a commercial fishing boat. But that is not, an accidental drowning. The thing, and Mr. Sam showed us, he was out, on the water yesterday. He showed us, and he has said it is calm over there. If you look at the videos of them on the 4th of July, there are no docks on Horn Island. People just drop their anchor and they hop off the boat in about waist deep to knee deep water and walk to the shoreline. Like, that is how calm that water is. So to say deaths always happen out there, that's not true. But he did say that they were going to have to identify Nolan's, because of the condition of the body, that they were going to have to identify Nolan's remains by DNA. They did not do DNA, they did his dental records. Nolan was found with his clothes. That's how they got a visual identification of him. But they had to identify his body through his dental records, and they did not allow his parents to see his body. That's how bad of a condition it was in. So that was Monday, and that is, sort of the end of the timeline. Now I'm going to introduce some new characters, because we have been, and this is also going to introduce the party house and maybe fill in some gaps. If Britt has made it into the live, shout out to Britt, who really sent me a tip yesterday in my DMs, and it sent Janice and I down a rabbit hole this morning. And we were able to get even more information. Also, because we started reporting on the party house yesterday, Blicky Lowdown had a post on Facebook about it. We were able to get a lot of information. We were ahead of the curve on this. And, we get to kind of tell y'all we're really looking at this. So here are some fill in the blanks of new characters and how this group of people know each other. So Katie McCormick, or Katie Kitchen Seasoning, she graduated in 2025 from Ocean Springs High School with Nolan, with Warren, with Wyatt, with Ava Seymour, I believe, graduated in 2025, and Ava Dillinger graduated in 2025. Ava Seymour is the stepsister of Warren. Also, Morgan Seymour is in that group as well. That is the stepbrother of Warren Hudson. So, Warren's parents divorced. His dad remarried to Judge Ashley Cole. His mother, Katie Hudson Seymour, remarried. I don't know the name of that man's first name, but remarried. And Morgan Seymour and Ava Seymour are the stepsisters or stepbrother and sister of Warren Hudson. So we have, you can kind of see that we've got the family bunch coming together, and why all of a sudden Judge Ashley was hopping up and wanting to speak out, and why Katie Hudson Seymour, Warren's bio mom, was strangely speaking up and all for some strange reason. So that's a couple of new names. Trayston also graduated from Ocean Springs High School 2025. Trayston is friends with Katie Kitchen Seasoning on social media. Katie Kitchen Seasoning is also linked to Ava Seymour on social media. So when they told Warren's mom that they didn't know who Katie Kitchen Seasoning was, that's not true. They have, for the
No, Shayla, you being nice. That was a lie in Mari voice.
That was a lie. It was a lie. Because for at least 4 years, they've had a couple of classes with Katie that might not be like one of their close friends. And we know it's not one of their close friends. And I'll explain to you how we know that. But they knew who she was. If they needed to get in contact with Katie McCormick to find out where Nolan was, they could. This is the last time I'm going to mention Trayston, because he is actually never really invited to any of the events, I don't think. He's one of those fringe friends. He's one of those people that, follows everyone on social media and will ask to take a picture with you. He's a clout chaser, and I've been clear on that from the beginning. He was not at the pool party that happened on June 27th. So not sure how he would have the metadata to prove that the party happened on June 27th, because even in his own words, he wasn't there. He had to work all day, and then he had to get up the next day and go to church.
I want to jump in right here. This is where I also want to say metadata can be changed. So I don't know what Rolling Stone was doing, but you can change it easily in your phone.
So yeah. So he's one of the fringe friends. He's not really a key player. But I will say that they all knew that when they left the island, that they were going to one place. And that would be Ava Dillinger, who I will now refer to as Ava Delta Delta Delta. And if you know, you know. Ava Delta 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 was having a party at her house, a pool party. And she did not invite Katie McCormick. And there has been an audio that we don't usually like to talk about because we couldn't verify it. But after we discovered the pool house yesterday, we were able to verify it. And that's how we can also introduce some of these new names like Ava Seymour and Ava Delta Delta Delta. So Janice, if you will play that audio.
Okay, here we go, y'all.
Island around like 10:30. Everybody was hanging out, having a good time. And then it came time to leave, and so Wyatt was like, Nolan, get on the boat, like when we're leaving, and Nolan was talking to that girl, Katie McCormick, and he was like, oh, I'm just gonna go back. Okay, well, TikTok only lets you send 1 minute videos. I know. But he was like, oh, I'm just gonna go back with Katie. We'll be right behind y'all. We were all going to the same house, the same place. He was like, I'll be right behind y'all. Y'all go ahead without me. I'll see y'all, like, I'm literally going to be right behind y'all, whatever. So, Wyatt and all them left because they were like, okay, he's just going to go with Katie, whatever. Well, then everybody got back in and we were all at Ava's house, and Wyatt was like, where's Nolan? He was like, isn't he coming with Katie and them? And they were like, yeah. And Warren was like, let me call him and ask where he is. Or Warren was like, I have his phone. Like, somebody called Katie and asked where he is. And then they called Katie. And that's when they found out that that Nolan never went with her either. She said that Nolan never went with her. And so no one knows what happened. Like, literally no one knows what happened to him, and it's so fucking heartbreaking. Girl. It's sick that people are sitting there blaming that on Eric and all them, like his childhood best friends. Like, it's sick. And none of them would ever do that to him. And, like, people are literally texting me, like, threatening me and shit. It's like, bro, I don't know, it's just so upsetting. It's just so upsetting. Shut up.
So a few questions. The
So,
coughing during the
So
sorry.
we don't know who the girl is in the audio, but there are a couple of names she mentioned. Ava, and remember I just introduced you to two Avas. Ava Delta 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 was where the pool party was going to be at. Katie Kitchen Seasoning was never invited to that pool party. You can also hear them giving directions. Well, you can only send a 1 minute voice message on TikTok. Hey, we don't really know who Katie McCormick is. Now, we're not saying it is those kids, but it's really kind of suspect, right?
I want to
Because,
add to Shayla, not to interrupt. They also said we were all at Ava's house. They started with that.
yeah, we were all at Ava's house. And they're literal, if it is them, they're literally practicing their story and how they're manipulating people. We do not, while we have named names, these kids are all over the age of 18. So we're not doing anything wrong by sharing their names. We don't share addresses at all. So there's that. We don't condone violence. We're just looking for truth and justice. Like, right? So that's all we're searching for. But you hear in this audio them practicing, talking about, I'm getting death threats. I'm sorry. Those are white women tears. Like, we're trying to leverage white women, YT women tears early on. So it's just all suspect. But we definitely know, and Janice, like her picture is so dead on. The way we know that the pool party picture of Nolan is at Ava Delta Delta Delta's house is because the siding on the pool matches. We're not condoning any other stories that went out with that about, moms coming out intoxicated, telling them to leave at 1 a.m. because they were too loud, or what is said that happened to Nolan, there.
And
It
I
is.
also want to point out too, if you guys look at the picture, so if you go to my post, it's the first pinned post. That photo, but you can see the original. The only thing I did was blur out the faces. But that house to the side with the light on is the exact same house.
And so all we're saying is that people know more. I also want to highlight that Ava Delta 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 lives by car 10 minutes away from Warren Hudson's bio mom's home. When Warren said the phone is in my truck, and Mrs. Javion's mom said it took them about 20 minutes to get me the phone, it would take about 20 minutes by car. You would have to drive there, get it, and come back. It would take about 20 minutes. So
Taylor, in the chat, Radical want you to say that again.
Say what?
About how long it would take.
10 minutes by car. And the reason
addresses in the chat.
No.
The reason why I say by car is because both of these houses are they back up to the water. They are in what is called the Fort Bayou Estates area. They get out, they use the waterway, it's called the Biloxi Bay Waterway, to get out into the Mississippi Sound to head to Horn Island. From Warren's bio mom's, where they have boats docked, and trust me, if you're living on the water like that, you own boats. Warren does not own a boat, but he has access to several. Both his mom and his dad, who is married to Judge Ashley Cole, live on the water with boat docks. But from Warren's bio mom's boat deck, it is a straight shot to the northwest tip of Horn Island. And I was plotting a map this morning. We're not going to share it with you because it gives locations and address, but I did plot a map this morning and, asked, hey, I gave AI a scenario. How long would it take on an early Monday morning between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m.? And the reason I'm asking for those times because Nolan's body was found at 8:45. How long would it take round trip to get back? And it not only plotted the water pathway you would take, it said it would be about an hour and a half trip. So, you can't tell us that, not everyone, is this a race thing? You can't, yes, it is. Yes, it is. You can't tell us that we're stupid. You can't tell us that we're stupid. We don't know the motive behind it or what happened, but it is these are people that should definitely be questioned immediately.
And also, just like Shayla was saying yesterday, whoever talks first is going to get the best deal. So we know some of you guys are listening without coming in. Whoever talks first.
And if I were a couple of people, Evan, Jax, has someone said in the comments earlier, it's, there's a lot of corruption in Mississippi, and it's not just regarding race, it also has to do with money. If I were y'all, I would try to be the first to the sheriff's department to tell my story. Because when the haves band together, the first people they're going to throw under the bus are the have-nots. And there was someone in the comments earlier saying that Black people don't swim. You are talking to a Black mermaid, baby. A Black mermaid. Do you hear me? And I have for the past couple of weeks been intentionally posting as my timeline cleanser over on Twitter X pictures of, black boys, black boy relay swim team, of a little Black girl at swim lessons, the black boating community in Chicago, and there are other areas in which people boat. Black people boat. Mr. Sam is a boater. So Black people do these things. That was not a passion of Nolan's parents, because his mom is a nurse practitioner. I'm not 100% sure what his dad does, but he does it well. If they wanted a boat, if they wanted to be boat people, they would be boat people.
I hear music in the background. Okay.
That's probably mine.
Yeah. Shayla, did you have anything else to add, or you want to start bringing up people? We can start bringing up people.
We can start bringing up people. If Britt is in the comments,
please request.
We wanted to really Britt gave us the social media connections between Tristan, who is not followed by anyone, and Katie Kitchen Seasoning. And she was a great help today as Janet and I were researching. So Britt, please come up and get your flowers.
Yes. And also too, guys, like we said, yesterday we broke the house party. People are starting to talk about it. So don't be surprised if you start seeing these pictures out. And if this person privates the account, this is only the tip of the iceberg. So we'll bring people up. So again, if you don't have a profile photo, we won't be able to add you. Northside, go ahead and come up. We're not Northside every day. We appreciate you.
Northside?
What's up, ladies?
Hey.
Yeah, I was running some errands around, and I needed my phone for some stuff, so I had to miss like the first I was on at first, but then I had to get off. But I just got back on like at 3, so I'm pretty much caught up now. But once again, good job again.
And we repost this on YouTube for anyone who misses this. So
and that's okay. So that's what I meant to ask. So this whole live, the ones you guys do, you guys post it back on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay. Whose page is it on?
It's on mine. By Janet Ayers.
And you guys don't mind me just sending people y'all way to listen to it and stuff on some of these other panels and stuff?
That's fine. We appreciate it.
That's what we want you to do.
Cool.
We want you to get the word out.
Yeah, because some people be I wish I knew how to articulate it as good as you guys, because they be talking a lot of nonsense on some of these other panels. So I'm definitely gonna send them y'all way so y'all can listen and just hear the information you have because it's still like you guys are so far ahead, but a lot of people you guys are like at home plate, and a lot of people still on first base with their information. So I'm just
Well,
like,
that's because we
damn.
do it on the back end, and we all go over the information, and Janice sends stuff, and then everybody sends stuff, and we go over it. We go over it, and we talk about it, and we just don't say nothing out loud, and we let people talk when they got a lot of information, and we be respectful, and we let them say what they gotta say, and we go over it on the back end a lot.
Yeah.
And then and I like how no one really came up here and really tried to challenge you guys. That's why I know y'all information is real because nobody even come in here and try to even challenge it.
Well, that's because our two main people that block is not in the room right now, but they gonna
Uh,
block eventually. Like our two
Like
main
I,
people,
but also you can't challenge facts.
right? And
Like
then
the,
that's the
the,
thing. We really go over it.
we're like not only is it facts, but we're actually providing you with the resources.
Exactly.
and that's my point. Like they don't even come up here because a lot of people would definitely come in here and challenge some of this stuff. Like I know they hear you, and I know they sliding through they lives, and they hear this one, and they
Well,
don't
they
want
best not
none. They don't
want
want no
to.
parts. They don't want no
They,
parts. So
they best not want to come over here.
mm-mm.
Yes, and I will say too, Northside, like I was saying, like yesterday, nobody was talking about the party house. We talk about it, and then today we see it.
All
So
over
I
it.
know these pictures are going to get out.
Yes, they are. Hey, so the party house, like, so, dude, are we like feeling like it was really a party that day on the fifth, or are we still kind of like in the dark about that?
It was a party on the 4th.
And you heard it in the
If
audio.
if you go
Okay.
back to the audio, one of the things in the audio they said Nolan was going to catch another a ride on another boat. He said because we're all going to the same place. The same place was Ava Delta Delta Delta's house.
And that's the party house.
Yes,
Okay.
for that
Okay.
day.
Yes,
For
That
for
for
that day.
that
that
day.
day.
We don't want
And
to
is
say
this
too much, but for that
and
day.
is this is the one in that picture that we're looking at right now? Is that the
Yes,
picture, that house? Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, and also shout out to whoever in the chat told me you can make it big. We are still learning TikTok, so if we ever do it, just let us know in the chat and we'll fix it. But thank you.
We're learning. We're trying to get polished, guys.
Hi, Civilly. Welcome to the live. And I'm sorry, let me go ahead and bring somebody up. So let's go ahead and bring Sherry up.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry. Can you hear us?
It doesn't look like she has a micro. Oh, she's gone.
I No, I had to go to the next person. Oh, look at Miss Glow. Hi, Glow.
Hola, ¿cómo estás, good people?
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I was waiting patiently. You know, I've been in here every day, so I'm a vet now. So I just hang out.
Yes. Yes.
Well, how are you guys today?
We are good. How are
Right.
I
you?
wanted, I'm doing well. I wanted to add a spin on what you guys have already ran down. So again, we're gonna get back to my spiritual crazy self. In the spiritual community, there is a thing that is stating that corroborates a lot what you guys are saying in reference to this is a little bit bigger than what we're talking about too. I'm not speculating. I'm just going to say my opinion in reference to what you guys have already told us. Has anybody found it strange or interesting that the coach took his boat to Nolan's dad at 5 something in the morning prior to it being even on anywhere but social media?
No, because Nolan was a part of a college football program. And if anyone who follows college football, even though he was at a community college,
Mm-hmm.
they watch all of their athletes' social media.
Correct. So they watch my sons as well. So you're right about that. And I want to say something about
By the
this.
way, Evan, ding, 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 Evan, you got a lot to lose.
Is that the one with the USA?
No.
No, no.
Okay. Okay. So the reason why I'm saying this, y'all, like, and from the spiritual side of it, there is speculation that, or there are reports outside of this that there were incidents of abuse at this
We can't say
particular,
that word. We can't say that word.
incidents of situations at this particular location that were being investigated over someone who oversees some of the players. And,
Can we not go into that? Because I think it muddies the water.
Okay. But I think it's bigger than just the kids. Based on that, I think it's bigger than just the kids. It's real big. It's a sport. It's real big, y'all. So y'all are on it. I'm gonna leave it at the facts, but yeah, it's big. It's real big.
Yeah, and
And
just so y'all know too, we just like to stick as close as we can to the facts. We
Yeah,
don't go off hearsay unless we have facts that it could be true. So
We are looking for, and I said it in a couple of lives, we are looking for the criminal mind, the criminal mind, and then the criminal action. Like there could be other sub stories surrounding this, but that muddies the water. That does not tell a story that would lead to justice for Nolan in this case, and that is what we are focused on.
and I was gonna ask does that need to be a focus of the person who supplied the smugs and the alcohol to the underage? Would that be a point of interest?
I
if
would use that person. This is there was underage drinking. If
Mhm.
I were Sheriff Shea of Jackson County, Mississippi, Sheriff Shea would do what Carlos, the former judge Carlos said. There's underage drinking, which means a law has been broken. You could have bought these people in a long time ago based off of that alone.
Man, that's what I was wondering because I'm just like with that, like they're not really trying to find that person because is it confirmed that they have smugs too?
if
We
that's hearsay, so I don't want to get
Okay,
into
okay,
Yeah,
that.
we have
okay,
no
okay,
confirmation of that.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
Information of that at all.
But we definitely seen that evidence with the alcohol though. We saw that
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and bring. I believe you pronounce it Pris. I could be mispronouncing. Hi, are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Okay. Do you pronounce your? How do you pronounce your name? Because I want to make sure we get it right.
it's just Pris.
Okay. Thank you, Pris. Okay. Well,
Thank,
welcome up. Do you
thank
have
you.
anything? You're welcome. Do you have anything you want to add?
Well, I have to say, you ladies have done an amazing job. You definitely, out of all of the lives that I've been in, this is by far the most um, reference based. It's not all of assumptions and just people talking outside of their necks. I really appreciate the information, and I really appreciate the fact that you guys want to maintain form in your panel and within your chat. That people aren't just talking and talking over each other, and you're wanting to stick to the facts. And I really appreciate that. I'm glad I came across you. I think I came across you yesterday, but I just was just swiping. But I really don't have much to add other than the fact that I really appreciate the time that you guys have put into this. It's very informative. It also kind of filled in some holes that I had. I've been kind of just sitting back, like you guys say, going into chats, kind of listening to different people and then going back and fact checking and references, just trying to figure out on my own. I really don't say too much in the panels, but if I get pulled up, I just express my appreciation when I do see good work. So
Well, Chris, we definitely appreciate that, and we tell everybody, but everybody this, even if it's something that we say, go fact check it.
Absolutely.
So, yes, that's very important. So, thank you for coming up, and we hope to see you
Absolutely.
again soon.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes.
Chris.
Thank you.
Yes. Do you want to stay up or you want me to drop you?
I'll stay up.
Okay. Okay, so we'll go ahead and bring Mississippi Pimpin'. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I think he's dropped. So we'll go to the next person. And guys, thank you so much for the likes. So we're going to bring up Janice. Okay, I think she dropped already. Sorry,
If
guys.
you're waiting in line, just keep waiting. We're gonna get better at trying to get to you, all of you guys who get in the queue.
Yes, baby girl. I can't bring you up because you don't have a photo. Anybody without a photo, I can't bring you up. Urban Wealth, we had you up before, so I will go ahead and bring you. Okay, Urban Wealth, can you hear us?
Hey,
Urban
can you
Wealth.
guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. How are you?
I'm doing good, and yourselves?
Good.
Yeah, this is just informing you. This is Dillion Faye from Twitter.
Oh
We've been going back and
yes,
forth for the last couple of
yes,
days.
yes.
Um,
Welcome.
Thank you, appreciate you. I just wanted to come up and say that you guys are doing an amazing job, staying on topic, keeping it clean, and I know me as a person, I definitely appreciate it because when it comes to the fact checking behind this case is very serious because unfortunately the state of Mississippi is keeping not only the family but the community in the dark for a reason. They know the community can piece together crimes. It's honestly not that hard. I live in Cleveland, Ohio, so we see crime every day. So you guys are doing an amazing job.
Yes. Well, thank you. We appreciate you. Do
No
you want to
problem.
stay up or you want to get dropped?
You can drop me back down. I just wanted to say
Okay.
that.
Okay. Thank you, and I'll
Not
talk to you
get
on Twitter.
dropped,
All
Janice.
right, girlie.
Not get dropped.
And I do
All
want to
right.
say something in reference to what she
Yes.
just said that's very true about where we're from. It's not rocket science. It's not a rocket. It's like we're piecing it and y'all are on it, like very factual. But it's like, what is the motive behind the delay? That's what I think about. Why is there such a major delay?
Well,
It's got
I
to be more.
So I'm going to say allegedly, but if it's taking a long time, that tells you that pieces are being moved to try to make it make sense, but it will never make sense.
I agree.
That's why, I was saying we're not necessarily concerned. And you said the motive in the delay. We don't know the motive in the delay. Well, we do. Hopefully, it is to get all of the facts together to present, factual evidence to the grand jury that will lead to indictments, making sure that they have all of the players and know all of the players involved. That's me being nice to Mississippi. That would not have happened if we on social media had not been driving. And when I say we, I'm not talking about just this panel, but everyone on social media
Yeah.
that have been lifting up Nolan's name and saying we deserve to know the truth and that we need justice in this. So that is the power of social media and us harnessing it correctly. Again, going back to what happened to Nolan, unfortunately, we may never have a true motive. And that would satisfy us if we had a true motive, but we're only looking for the mens rea, which is the criminal mind, and the octus rea, which is the criminal action.
I wanted
Mhm.
to say, this is Chris again. I've been pondering over why, the delay is there. And to be quite honest, I know it's a lot to do with gathering the facts, but I also just looking from a bigger lens. They have to be very careful with letting out information because of the state of the country. And I think that's kind of part of why the FBI are now involved. It's very important that they try to remain as confidential as possible, especially when you're going to go before a grand jury. But you have to think about where this has really become big. Not only just in social media. This is really become a very big thing. And if you were to release information all at once or however, just think about what it would do to the country. What will it do to people? Not everybody thinks the same way and process things the same way, and their actions are not the same. And some people don't think about consequences when they act. So they have to think about all those things. You got people that are angry. You got people that are saying that it's racial or whatever. You have to be mindful of that. So I think a little bit about, reason for the breadcrumbing is what we call it, is because they have to be very careful not to cause an uproar. That's
So
just my thoughts.
No, no,
so
no, but
Chris,
honest.
Chris, I
Go
want to
ahead.
say too. For me, I don't all the way agree. The reason being, if social media would not have blown this up. Remember, initially they classified it as a drowning.
Well, I
If
agree with you on that. I agree with
yes,
you on that. Yeah.
yes, and then if you think about too, they didn't even contact his mom. She had to contact them.
Yes.
I just feel like if this would not have happened, it would have got swept under the rug like so many other
And
cases.
all of the other cases.
Well, I'm just speaking as far as being, releasing the
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
With the releasing, I get that because
Mhm.
they do have a case, but
Yeah.
they could be more transparent and be more empathetic.
And it
Which
seems
I'm
to me it should be a lot of people charged when this shit hits the fan, though. If all this is taking place and he's that judge, she's covering having an on the cover up the sheriff, it should be a lot of people getting busted. But I don't know if the FBI in this country is going to be ballsy enough to just really
No, no.
just arrest these high profile people, though, because it'll show the racism in this country, and it'll be a big thing for us just to start getting justice as black Americans, because they like this is one case, like you said. If it wasn't for social media, it got swept under the rug. It'd have been another unsolved death. Just like we have all these exonerations for our people being arrested too. It's just like it's a lot of injustice that goes on for us, and this would be so big to just for this case to really just charge these this judge and the sheriff, but I don't think they're gonna be able to. I mean, I hope they can, but I don't know. I think they're gonna try to pin it on somebody else. Maybe that's probably what's taking so long.
And I
Well, let
think
me
initially it was supposed to be Katie. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Prince.
let me ask you, what do you think the FBI's main motivation or intentions are in this case?
So the reason the FBI is invited into this case, and we know that the FBI has to be invited in, and we
Right.
know this from the Nancy Guthrie case. That sheriff had to invite the FBI in. And so the FBI hasn't taken fully over this case.
Right.
But the reason they were invited in, from what I have read, um, for a couple of reasons. This involved a national park.
Mm-hmm.
The Horn Island falls underneath the national park. That's where Nolan was found. And there are so a lot of this is going to have to deal with the technology side of it. The FBI is going to have more resources to do things like recovering information on the phone that may have been deleted. Um, Remember, we discovered, and it's technically not a GPS guide. They're saying GPS to be friendly to us, the lay people. It is an AIS system on
Right.
boats that pings and lets essentially the Coast Guard or MDMR know where your boat is, and it pings and allows other boats to know where you are, so you guys don't collide into each other. Not all recreational boats have that, but we know that Wyatt's did. So you can alter or turn that device off. And the FBI will have the people who will be able to, see if it was tampered with, if it was turned off, and to link all of that stuff together. I did not appreciate the FBI saying they are really focusing on the state threats against
Me
people.
either.
I
Me either.
I don't think these people need to be threatened, but again, that feels like you are using the system against us.
Yeah.
And trying to keep people from speaking out and sharing information and seeking justice for Nolan. And I think we all have a reason to be suspicious of the FBI under its current direction. So there's that. But
And not only that, as an organization, it's bad PR to come out and say that the first thing that you say.
Yes, I agree.
And I do want to say something in reference to what you guys are just saying, and Miss Shayla too. You guys are on point with this. I think America, and this is allegedly, this is an opinion, they can't handle the fallout if we as a people, as all humans, find out in America just how corrupt this goes. They can't handle that power struggle. That system, if it falls, if they can't hurry up and get some things in place and make it look like it's legitimate, if we discover that that's what's happening, like we've already discovered on a certain level, but I'm just saying in a totality, if we discover just how deep this goes and we're able to investigate and find that out, what type of fallout would that look like as well for people knowing just how far they'll go to cover up? That's what I think about too.
And I think too, y'all, they may just be waiting on us to be quiet about the case, but we're not being quiet over here.
It's not going to happen. It has gotten so big that it's international now. It's not even in America anymore. It's international.
that's what Wyatt's brother, his younger brother, posted. Like
Yep. He
it's
wanted everybody to shut up.
huh?
He wanted people to shut up.
Yeah, he wants the blacks to be
BLK.
quiet about it. The BLKs to be quiet about it.
And if you think about it, like we said yesterday, the whole thing is just sloppy. Like the pictures that we were able to link, it's like they're just dumb. They need to watch First 48 or something.
Exactly.
Our area has never seen
This is
anything like
proof
this
that
before.
this is proof that black people are the one, or BLK people are the ones that have been keeping law and order going for all of this time. That is our show. We are claiming that show. It's ours now because they're not even watching Law and Order.
Nobody has ever went this far, y'all. Not in the history of me living here. Nobody has ever went that far.
No, no, but that's why nobody really to debate you guys up here, man. Because I know for a fact there's somebody in here feeling some type of way about what y'all saying. They would definitely try to hop in here and hate that. But I mean, it's really crickets. So that is crazy to me. That's why I know y'all on point like that. Because nobody comes in here like and they hear.
But even that, we don't debate. We just give you the facts, and either you take
Exactly.
it or you leave it.
And
No,
then
no,
half the
no, no, no,
time,
no, no, no. But that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
people argue facts, though. That's my thing. So it's just like
and then
they'll hear some shit and still just keep going, and it's just like, damn, you
and
just
then
heard what
when
she
they
just
feel like
said.
it's getting too hot, they drop. they come up on here and they try to get they all, and then when they get too hot, they already done dropped, and we can't even give them the information because they done dropped already, and they leave out the room.
Because they don't want to
Yeah,
hear it. Truth can stand
yeah.
alone. A lie need
No,
help.
no, because people want to just, just like have their own narrative, and they just how they came out. Just they don't want it to be racist, even though they know how racist this country is, but they don't want these situations to be that's in the limelight. They don't want them to be, shown that the racism because they want to say we're the ones with the victimhood, and we always complain about the system, and this just shows it. Like we got judges, we got sheriff, we got people. Like how can we win? If it's just like the people in these high profile jobs are just being crooked to us. So it's just like there's no way we could win like that. So just putting this in the spotlight is real big. That's why this case is monumental if you ask me,
It's
because
very big.
And accountability is
they really thought
hard.
that
It's
yeah, they
hard.
really
It
thought they were gonna
is.
get off. Yeah, they thought they were gonna get off with this right now.
Nobody wants to be accountable because accountability is too much like you're holding me to the fire of what I did and I'm used to running. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
They're basically saying, I'm not accountable. When you start fact checking me, I don't want to deal with it, so I run. Why run? Face it. We have to face us. Face you.
Yeah.
Why do you think that? Why do people think that way? What has happened with this divide in America? And it's not just YT. It's all. It's like facts can stand alone. Truth stands alone. Lies need pressure. They need more legs. Truth don't need no legs. So what is the problem? It shows just how different we think. And I want to say this and I'm gonna let y'all have it. I watched a video, y'all, and this man was saying how some people they like adrenaline, like say for instance in the Carmelo case where he said, try me and boom, boom, boom. But he was really warning him, don't try that. But it made them act. They gave 4 different scenarios on when somebody said, oh, don't get in the water, they're alligators, but you jump in there anyway. It's like, what? You run to action, you run to do something crazy, but then after it's done, oh, I'm not accountable, I didn't do that. That's crazy to me. It's a big divide in how we think. Like we know danger, we run. Some people know danger and they go after it. They like, yeah, I want the challenge. We think so differently, and I think that's a divide too. We don't danger. Some people danger, and that's the danger is catching up. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the phrase I hear is
Uh-oh.
not.
Oh, the connection is bad.
You breaking up, Northside. Okay. I think he dropped y'all.
The word accountability, you used it a few minutes ago, Gloria. I think about, like, even when I'm teaching my kids about accountability, and even in my job, that's something I deal with every single day, is holding people accountable. I think about it, and I'm a big thinker. I think big all the time. But, I look at accountability as the same thing as judgment. What we're all going to face one day is judgment, right? And I look at how some people in this world look at accountability, and they don't want any parts of it. They don't want to be judged. They don't want anyone to say you're wrong. How would, just in this situation, whoever it is, or if anyone is guilty in this situation, did they think about the final judgment? Did they think about, like, what's going to happen to me at my last day? How I'm going to be judged for what I did? And I think, thinking about that scares me for wanting to do anything wrong. But what makes you think that people don't think about that when they do things?
It's been
Well,
passed down.
that's spiritual, and that is in the abstract. In the a physical plane, they're just thinking about what is best for them. Like, how can I get out of this? How can I cover this up? I mean, these are a group of children, to be quite honest with you, that have grown up extremely privileged. They have never really been told no. In my honest opinion, they might think that they're humble and everything else, but from what it looks like there was a alleged cover up, and it's not just the boys. It
No, it's
it,
bigger.
it's the girls as well.
Mhm.
And you then had allegedly a stepmother who is very well versed in the law help with that. All of the boys, and you know what? If I were Sheriff Shea, all of the girls would be in the in like sitting in interrogation rooms right now, because all of the boys except for two had lawyered up. And so it made it almost impossible from the beginning to like get any answers or questions because y'all lawyered up. The only person, in my opinion, who maybe should have lawyered up is Wyatt, because it was his boat that took Nolan out. Wyatt's family has a civil at that point had a civil liability. Even if this were an accident,
That makes more sense for him.
yeah, they would, but the rest of y'all, no. Why are you lawyered up? But right now, the girls that we just named, Ava Delta Delta Delta, Ava the stepsister, y'all need to be sitting in the sheriff's department interrogation room right now with fluorescent lights on you. And I would let you sit, your parents would lawyer up almost immediately for you, but I would make you sit there until you were lawyered up and your lawyer came and got you to see if one of you broke.
I think they played a game that went too far, and they didn't check the consequences of their choice. You guys are on point with this. I think it went too far, and the key players, like you just said, Miss Shayla, that young lady you're saying, it's if we even think biblically, let's just think biblically. Any major things that have happened with certain women have been at play. Major wars have started behind a manipulation of certain women. I guarantee you some of those girls probably had something to do with how this maneuvered, and they all do need to be investigated. But when I think back to what would have initially started anything, it could very well be a type of spirit of a person that can laugh and cry in the same sentence. That is a mental disconnect for me. I can't do it. And this is a life. And it just shows how valuable and how very, very significant this young man was, because his energy had to be so high vibrational or so something, so powerful for a group of people to decide, we're going to do this today. That is just what's amazing to me, because it's like, did they even think the consequences after the fact? Like, what caused this?
Yeah, and I just want to add to that just a little bit. I don't think they are factoring it into the fact that this group is large. Somebody is going to talk.
Oh, absolutely.
I guarantee you they can't sleep. They can't sleep.
No.
I don't know. I don't know if that to be true, Miss Glow. I think they thought they were gonna go back to college, live their college life. It would be. Janice said earlier today when we were talking, she goes, "This is like a Lifetime movie."
It will be. It will be.
No, it is
Hold on,
because
y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let me finish.
Let her finish.
In a Lifetime movie, something happens in their teenage years during the summer. Something happens, there's a cover up, and it's not until 20, 30 years later, when they're at some reunion, that it all starts to come out and that they've been living with it for all these years. And then we see how this cover up has made them, a victim of their own cover up. Like, it's even the same thing with the Carmelo Anthony case. Like what those kids did to him in the courtroom, they are coming in August, they're going back to school, to college, whatever, they're not thinking about it. But as they age, as they get married, have their own children, and it starts to set in what they did, what their actions caused, it will start to eat them from the inside out. And 20 and 30 years later, they're going to want to start confessing. And I think what we're saying is, no, y'all don't get to figure out you did wrong 20 and 30 years later. Y'all did wrong now, and we want justice now.
Yeah, and Shayla, I also want to add too, do you know how evil a person has to be when your friend is allegedly missing and you are posting about the happy and good times? That's evil.
And that is evil. I also wanted to go back to the audio of the girl.
Yeah.
Whichever girl was the the actress in the group, who I can almost profile her. She was a part of the drama club. She usually had the lead in the school plays. She may even be majoring in drama in college. If this were a Lifetime movie, she would be the character 20 or 30 years later that had become the Hollywood movie star.
Well, Shayla, if she an actress, she needs some more practice because that wasn't it.
But
Man,
you're using
She's
your.
practicing. They were practicing for
They
sure.
were practicing. She was practicing. She was trying to sell it.
no, she had her Karen down packed right there, though. She had the little cry and everything, though. I was like,
To say
dang,
it was
she
pretty
tried to,
tight. If the kids hadn't
yeah.
been given directions in the background and laughing, and if the cat hadn't come in at the end meowing, like, I would put her up for at least a daytime Emmy award.
Yeah, and
No, no, but
y'all can ask Shayla. I tell her that's the cat video because that cat take me out every time. Go ahead, Northside. Sorry.
no, it's just a trip how like all these people gonna stay on code like this together and
What?
just
Come up.
try to keep this secret and not say nothing. It's just a trip how they can all do that. But that's how you know they all feel entitled. They all feel like they can just do whatever they want to do because they got that privilege, man. And this is showing it because for y'all to like for something to happen to this young man and for him to die and for not no one just to come and just tell the truth and talk about what happened, just immediately go for the cover up. I mean, mom's is calling the sheriff's calling Coast Guards. It's just this thing is just real. It's just real big on how they could just give us this injustice like this because they're at the top in so many areas. So we really just have to dismantle white supremacy because it's gonna be bad if this case doesn't get justice. Like we're gonna have to really do something about this because this is just too obvious. And then for them to cover it up, we have to get justice. And I
Yeah,
land.
Brick, can you come up? I'm sorry.
She
Go ahead.
said no, she's at
Oh, okay.
work.
Okay.
And I just want to remind people, for those, when we're talking about the condition of Nolan's body, remember I broke it down for you yesterday. We had that commercial fisherman who came up and he said, "What happens to a body that is floating? That had been in water." And I broke it down for you yesterday. By my research, some of the things that he said, like marine life starting to feed, that doesn't happen until 3 to 5 days. when we finally do get a autopsy report, we're looking for the amount of water log. If Nolan had been in the water for the full time, the full, from Saturday through Monday, he would be extremely waterlogged, which means that he would not have been found. We don't know if he was face down or face up, but he just would have been extremely waterlogged. He may not be waterlogged at all because it appears that his body was placed back on Horn Island that Monday morning.
And Miss Shayla, not to interrupt you, I just want to say this and I'll let you keep talking. What if, this is just me allegedly thinking, what if these kids watched a way of life that was passed down to them where they felt entitled, where they felt like the things they're doing is okay? What if their bloodline or examples of parenting and talking and points, they've instilled certain factors that have allowed this to play out this way? That's what I think about. Because think about how we were raised, or think about the rearing. What if their rearing was more of educating them on the other aspects of the thing so that they feel like this is okay? Because it's a big group of them and all of them have this mindset that this is okay. Where did that come from?
I don't think they were raised to cause harm, but I think they were raised that excuses would be made for them if they did cause harm. It's a parenting of your child, and you see it play out. I'm sure if there are teachers or people who work with children and their parents, you see it all the time. There is a type of parent who their child can do no wrong. None.
And
Like,
typically it is the YT people.
yeah, like, we were raised, you get in trouble at that school, you know, we'll listen to your story, but if it don't sound right, we're siding with the teacher, the administrator, and you're getting in trouble at home. And it's, you have to listen to a child's story because there might be something going on up there. But when you listen to it and it still sounds like, no, you was wrong and you was up there showing out, it needs to be handled. There are the YTs predominantly excuse everything that happens, like whatever harm that their children do. You see it play out a lot in the Mackenzie Sharilla case. Like,
Oh yeah.
I watched that documentary and was like, I was so angry with her parents. Like, y'all did what? You allowed what? Like, you're still making excuses and enabling her, even now that she's behind bars. Like, it's a certain subgroup of people who do that. Janice, is there anyone else in the queue who wants to come up? I just want to make sure we get to everybody.
It is, but yeah.
I mean, y'all can drop me. I'll jump back in later. Y'all can, if you bring up, that's fair. I'm cool.
No, you good.
Okay.
Oh, we have Santana. I can try them.
Janice is
I'm very cautious.
yeah,
Yeah,
Y'all have to
I
let us know.
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Hi, Santana. Can you hear us?
Yes,
And how do you pronounce your name?
Santina.
Okay, I said it right. Yes, would you like to add anything to the conversation?
Yeah, I was just listening. Yeah, I've been on different panels all morning. When I tell you, I don't know. I'm just all over the place and I'm back and forth on Don Lee page, just getting information because I know that's credible and everything. It's just a lot of stuff. Like, I didn't know that it took them. It's just new information to me because I'm in and out with looking at what's going on. I didn't know that it took them 13 hours before they called the police and the Coast Guards and and the helicopters out there to even look for them. I said, that is a mess.
I didn't
Yeah,
even know that. So you left them just sitting there wondering where they saw that, and they had no help to go search.
yeah, the Coast Guard, there is an audio call, and I'll have to try to find it, and maybe we'll have it Monday. There is an audio call in which, at some point, they there the sheriff's department it says it over the radio. Hey, we just want to make sure that the Coast Guard and MDMR are actually out searching. Luckily, the Cajun Navy was in the area. In fact, one of the Cajun Navy members remembered seeing Nolan on Horn Island that day, and he was in the area, so they were able to help. You know, they had their boats and stuff out looking, plus they flew a drone over the island and stuff like that. But the Coast Guard was supposed to be looking. With that being said, it also doesn't matter because the body was found on the northwest point, and I really encourage y'all to get a map and look at this.
I
It's on my
have.
page, remember? From yesterday.
Huh?
Remember I posted it yesterday?
Okay, go back to Janice's page. The map, the Mississippi Sound, like it's a waterway between Horn Island. There's a couple of other islands out there, but we're only focused on Horn Island and the main island. And I have told you guys the tide changes 4 times a day at every 6 hours and 12 minutes. Look at God. That's his perfection. The tide changes. You would have seen with the amount of people in, going out to Horn Island, if something had happened to Nolan, they would have seen him floating in the Mississippi Sound. With the tide, he would have come to shore, whether it be the mainland or the Horn Island, but on Sunday, not on Monday. The reason I think these kids are so lazy and just lazy. Like, y'all weren't even smart enough to take him to the other side, the back side of Horn Island, and maybe, just maybe, this is evil, but just maybe his body would have floated further out to sea. That's what you should have really wanted.
Just
Because
dumb.
yes, because I truly do believe that something happened on that boat, and between the time of them leaving at 4:31 and 7 o'clock, when they actually took the boat off the water, that something happened. I truly believe that he was on that boat. I believe it.
I think he
But
was on the boat, but I
I
don't.
think he was on the
I've
boat.
heard people say something happened on the boat. Guys, again, look at a map. There were tons of people out there. That was a heavily traveled waterway. Boats are open, like you can see. It's not like a car. Like, boats are very open. If something were to have happened on a boat, people would have saw that. So I've seen those stories out there. I'm sure Janice has seen them. It's just, in my opinion, not plausible. It's more plausible that something happened once they got back to land.
Okay, so you saying they went back, because that's the first what I was saying at first. Like, they made it went back to land, but when I see the GPS, I'm like, they didn't take the boat off of the land though. I mean, off of the water though, did they? Then they get
Right.
told to the bayou. They
So the
left.
way, so the remember, there are houses on the waterway. Two Warren's family, a lot of those people live on the water. Ava Delta's house, they have a private boat deck. Warren's bio mom has a private boat deck, like and boat ramp, boat launch. Warren's dad and Judge Ashley, have a private boat deck and probably have a semi-private boat launch. So they were circling around and they were going in between houses. Fort
Oh,
Bayou,
Allegedly.
allegedly, Fort Bayou is like a cove. They call it the Fort Bayou Estates, and it surrounds there is a museum there, the historical Fort Bayou something or another, but it is an entertainment area. There are houses. There is an RV camp in that area. So people, you see those RVers, people who travel by RV and have their boat and they launch their boat and then can be out on the water. Like, they were going around to allegedly to the different houses or the different areas. There's also a place in Fort Bayou that they can get fuel, like a fuel station for the boat, a gas station for the boat. So Fort Bayou is, if you pay to live on the water so you can be a boat person and travel around by boat. If these kids wanted to, they could go in between each other's houses by boat.
okay. So yeah, I mean, I know it's all alleged, but that makes sense. I just knew I wasn't tripping when I was like, something is not right. It's so okay. Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask a question to the whole panel, because on these other panels, I mean, I know it's people all in between, who feel like, it was foul play, and some people feel like he just drowned. But and I'm just getting my opinion first, and I'm gonna ask you guys, like, do y'all really feel like that was an accidental drowning when we talking about the 4th of July weekend, what day? Lots of people out there. It was a lot of boats out there. It's a holiday. You know what I'm saying? So even if, and then I would say, when his friends say they left, that's what had me bothered a bit. When his friends say, "Oh, we last seen him at 3 o'clock," but the boat didn't leave till 4:31. And then you got Katie, who he just met, said, "Well, he walked away from me at 4:30 because he said, my friends, I'm about to go back with my friends to get on the boat." So if he wasn't with her and he wasn't with them, this is a question I ask every panel. If you say he drowned, who were he there with? Because Javon them said he left. I just want to know, who
We
was he
don't.
still there with?
We don't
So
think he drowned.
we don't think he drowned. There is data from the National Weather Service. They keep track of drownings by riptide and currents and waves, like high waves and stuff. There, in the past year and a half, there has not been a drowning at Horn Island. If you look at the pictures, Horn Island does not have a dock. The boats drop anchor and people get off the boat. They jump off the boat into about waist deep to knee deep water and they walk to shore. That's how safe it is. If there were a fast current or rip tides in that area, it would not be considered a recreational island because it would be too dangerous for you to drop anchor and to hop into a rip tide or a tidal wave or something like that. So we don't believe that he drowned for that. Like, you see them, they're all kind of swimming along the shoreline. Like, no, there wasn't an accidental drowning, in our opinion. You asked something else, and I was going to answer it.
Was it about the Katie girl? Because a lot of people trying to blame
No,
her. Oh,
it's not about the Katie girl. He went to high school with Katie. They all went to high school with Katie. Katie is one of those friends, like, y'all all went to high school, but she's not a part of your main peer group.
okay.
And probably hadn't seen her in a year since they had graduated because he's gone off to college. I don't know, but I'm assuming she has gone off to college. Just saw the person, was like, hey, and had a 20-minute conversation. He's probably had a couple of classes with her, all 4 years of high school. So it's not something romantic. It wasn't like he was just, which is what really bothered me, is that they tried to pose it as he was just so in awe of Katie that he was running off with Katie. No, he had a conversation with her. He kind of knew her from high school. Nolan's mom has described him as someone who never didn't know a friend. Everybody, he was friendly with everyone.
So, protect our children. I already blocked you, but
Interesting.
it feels like you trying to start shit, and this ain't what we do. So you're blocked.
Ooh, I like it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's been at it.
I
I
like
let him
it.
slide the first couple, but no.
And I do want to say one thing about this to y'all, and this is allegedly, and it's just my mindset. I'm not a scary movie person. I know what you did last summer. It comes to mind. But I'm going to give you one to just put on everybody's mind if you haven't thought about it, just without saying. I think about Get Out. Anybody else on that wave?
I didn't think about Get Out.
Me either.
Get Out, One Spoon of Chocolate, pretty much everything in that nature.
It's like it's in our face. Everything is in the movies. And if we just wait and check it out later, be like, man, this feels like I've seen this before. What are you trying to tell me? And that's like kind of, and I'm not even a big conspiracy theorist too much, but now it's like, maybe it's in our face.
And also, Gloria, when the mom came to look for the phone, they were watching a movie.
I
Which is
wonder
what they were
weird, right? That
watching.
is
I
so
wonder what
weird.
they
She
were.
said the lights was out and they was watching TV. I'm like,
Yes.
what?
Y'all,
They
I'm
should
telling
have been
y'all.
watching
I feel like with
48
that
First
lights
hours.
out
48,
thing,
yeah.
they wanted to appear
Dateline.
like they wasn't at home.
They needed to be watching 48 hours, Law and Order, something.
What
Because
if
y'all,
they was watching a movie like what I'm talking about? They was watching what they did and they were kind of reeling in it
no,
real
I
I
think
don't.
time.
I think
I
she
don't
would have
think
saw it.
that.
I don't think that's what happened.
Yeah, that's you going too far to the left
Yeah, I swear.
on
I'm
that,
in the left.
Shara.
I'm in the left right now. Okay, bring me back.
Well, I'm
Bring
gonna
me back,
tell you,
Miss
man,
Shayla.
I'm glad I got on this panel because I got kicked out of 2 panels today. Because they
Why did you get
basically
kicked out?
because they saying I'm talking crazy for saying that it was foul play, and I 100% believe it was foul play. They like, you can't 100% believe nothing. I said, that's how I feel, though. I said, there's too many stuff that's leading up to this. First off, everybody, a black person ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm gonna be honest. We don't even like to walk in the night in the dark by ourselves. To be honest, down the street, you know what I'm saying? So by us, you gonna leave us on the island. The only way we can get here is by a boat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna stay. That don't even sound right.
Yes, and
I
I'm
don't
cooking,
think
but
that.
I just want to say they say it's an accident with everything. Either oh, it was no foul play, or we deleted ourselves. It's nowhere we doing that. We do not do strange fruit to ourselves. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that. They always saying it's foul play. You can't tell me it wasn't foul play when you found a man and a man and he got poke and newspaper and stuff to him. How you telling me that that's not foul play? No,
Exactly.
they always say that shit. No, it's foul play. Don't we ain't spinning no narrative. You can't tell us shit and think we finna run with it and think that shit is
Thank
cool.
you.
No.
Thank you. That's
Cat,
what I said.
Cat. If they were friends, where is Nolan now? They were not his friends.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Let
saying. And
them
then go
let them
ahead.
tell him he's still on the island alive.
And
Let them
then,
tell him that's
girl,
what the fuck they
half
saying.
But
black
do y'all know
cat.
what's
That was
weird? Did
pure
y'all ever think
ignorance
about
to
this
say he
part
was
when they
half
said?
black.
I'm sorry. Did y'all ever think about this part when they said he called the Coast Guard at 11 before he called the mom, but they won't release what he said to the Coast Guard. But they said he didn't report nobody missing. Well, what you call the Coast Guard for? I think the lawyer had a lot of ties in. I mean, the judge had a lot of
Yeah.
ties in with some people, and she was
Allegedly.
making some calls, and she was doing what she had to do,
Allegedly,
and they took
allegedly.
them.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, she knew, made some phone calls, and they held the mama hostage a little bit when they because they hold the call, they hold it off for 13 hours. 13 hours before y'all went and did search for him. And we talking about on water. I thought if somebody drowned or go missing on water, that the search is immediately. I thought that's how it's supposed to work.
On
Not in
top
the
of
Feel
that,
like
sleeping.
on top of
they
that, Santina, I'm going to keep saying it. Your friend missing, and you on Instagram posting.
Right.
I feel like they didn't intentionally
Are y'all
try
are
to
at
do
the
that.
IHOP
They
getting you a Rudy Tooty
listen.
fresh and
They
fruity?
they at they at brunch talking about some. Oh well, y'all think we did it anyway, so we gonna continue
Yeah,
eating.
they were
Get the
at
fuck
IHOP
out of
eating their
here.
Rudy Tooty fresh and fruity, having a
I
good old
feel like
time.
they didn't
Psychology says
intentionally
they
do
told
that.
on
I feel
themselves.
like they had the Coca-Cola, the
Mm-hmm.
underage drinking, and it
Mm-hmm.
went too far and they tried to dispose of him. They went home, told their parents the truth, and still did a sloppy job. And Kat, we don't want to hear nothing about a potentially innocent kid. They took the life, allegedly, of a potentially innocent person. And then their behaviors. I feel like that's what happened. It went too far. These are arrogant, rich, snobby ass kids, allegedly, they are. But Coca-Cola, alcohol, egos, power trips, all of that mixed in, probably with a hint of jealousy as well. I feel like they got into it, it went too far, and they tried to dispose of him. But their parents know the truth. Why would you go lawyer up immediately? You didn't cry, look for him, go to his mama house, nothing. Y'all know what happened and y'all did something.
Exactly. They practice on
And not only that, Jay, they still ain't said rest in peace to Nolan.
right, and they practice
Exactly.
this
And then
and
y'all
still
talking in
can't get the
Wait,
past
line on.
tense.
wait. We forgot to bring up Janice because Miss and Kat. I just want to say before I say else I'm going to say, this might not be the live space for you. So you might want to move on to where you have more in common with us,
Jay, quit playing.
with other
I got it.
people.
I would say she gone.
So there's that. But Miss Wansley had to come out today and say, if your name is not on the list, you are not invited to the repass and to the service, because I feel like these people would have tried to sneak up into the service or the repass and be like they were there for their friend, even though all of this is going on, and they did nothing to help try to find him.
And she
And
has
now
every right.
now all of a sudden Ocean Springs High School is gonna throw like a special memorial service
A
for
candlelight
Noah,
visual.
a candlelight visual. He graduated from there over a year ago, almost 2 years ago. He's not a student of y'all's, but it's gonna give it's gonna give these kids a
Yep,
time
trying to
to
go.
go to show their face and to pretend like they're mourning. Everything that they are doing, the type of when they drop information into the mainstream media, it is done to try to create reasonable doubt. Now they have got to do the PR side of it and show that they were actually really sad about Nolan. So since they can't go to his actual services and repass, they got the high school to do a candlelight visual, and they'll probably be there. We'll know who the actress is. She'll probably, have a tear-stained face
Shut
holding her
up.
candle. Like that's a PR move, and it's a PR move to benefit these kids.
You are
Then
on
I think
point, Miss
y'all on the
Shayla.
page.
Miss
Why do they
Shayla,
look for them? You don't look for something and you know where it is.
y'all on
Because they
point.
working together out there. I'm telling you, they're small town working together. I'm trying to tell you against him.
They've been working together. I'm from
Mm-hmm.
there. This is all my life. I could tell you some stories, make your head pop off. But one thing I know for sure, y'all are on point, and these are chaos agents. And when you don't want to accept accountability, what you'll do is throw dots and dodgers out there to infiltrate the truth. And that's what they're doing. And they feel like those chaos agents are going to cause the case to go however it's going to go. But I promise you this, in the history of my life, I have never seen parents like Nolan's parents go this far. Nobody has had the gall. Nobody has had the audacity to go against the system. And I'm telling you verbatim. There's been
There's
many,
one other
many
mother,
unalivings.
the
But this,
TJ's mother has.
yeah, I could believe that, but I've never seen it go global. And it's deeper than us. When it can go global, This is deep, on all spectrums. And I'm so proud of these parents that will stand up because y'all, real talk, nobody has ever stood up to the injustice of Mississippi like I'm seeing now. I'm from there. I left there. I've seen it. Nobody had the audacity to say, I'm going to fight you tooth and nail to the end. These people are fighting to the end. What I'm scared of is if we don't get justice, what will come of it? That's what I
Hey,
pray about.
Can I ask
Janice,
something?
Janice,
Yes. Uh-huh.
because I'm seeing in the comments, Miss Till, and you were wanting
Yes.
to
Yes.
acknowledge
Yes.
the picture and the comparison between Emmett Till's parents and Nolan's parents,
Yes. Yes. I
and
definitely wanted to.
even the birthday and the date of passing between the two of them.
Yes, reincarnation. I definitely agree, believe in it. I know a lot of people don't. But if you guys have not seen this post on TikTok, it's been everywhere. I seen it from Jay. Jay sent it over. So shout out to Jay. If you guys don't know, Emmett Till was born in July. He passed away in August. Nolan was born in August and passed away in July. So I definitely want to hear you guys' feedback on that. And then the parents look exactly alike, like twins.
Emmett is fighting with him. Emmett is helping him win. I guarantee you, Emmett is saying, okay, 70 years ago, remember you told us about 7 yesterday? Emmett and him spiritually are together. And Emmett is saying, I didn't do it, but you're going to do it, my brother. You're going to do it. I didn't do it, but yours is going to do it. And
I
this is
feel
why
like
I'm
that's what
here.
Miss Glow was talking about yesterday when she said that
It is, and how identical they are. How
yeah,
identical they are, even down to the color of the mama to the daddy. Emmett
exactly.
is with him. Emmett is telling him, I didn't do it, but my brother, you're going to do it. And our close proximity in this reincarnation is to break that cycle and to break that wound. The wound on the land has to heal. I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it today. And Emmett and Nolan are working together in that spirit to make it possible through Christine and Elmore Wansley. And it will happen. Even if we don't get the justice we deserve, y'all, we're going to get the attention that his life it needs. And we're gonna prevail. I think we're gonna get justice. Me personally, I really feel like we're
Yeah,
gonna get justice.
I do too.
I
yeah, I
want to
definitely do.
believe it,
I feel
but
like they
I
was
don't want to get
banking.
my hopes up, honestly.
I feel like we are because they was first of all they was banking on our stupidity and back to what Miss Glow said. Nothing's ever done. This is as far as it go. We get on social media and we talk about it, but his parents are actually fighting for real and they're fighting so calmly. And we know that's the worst storm ever, the calmest storm. But I definitely feel like it, and especially the move they made with the autopsy thing. Like they're not releasing theirs until they release theirs. They not playing with these folks.
Yeah.
That was a chess move. You hear me?
I've
That
been
was
Yeah.
the
saying
chess
chess,
while they
not
playing
checkers.
checkers.
Yes,
They're
chess,
playing
not checkers.
chess.
Um, we have an open spot. Does anyone else want to come up and add to the panel?
We don't have any eligible people.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Sorry.
we don't have any eligible people.
That's sad.
Wow. Well, I have been looking at the comments, and it's definitely changing. I think it's because a lot of people that are getting on now didn't see your presentation from the beginning to really fully understand that we're not just sitting here talking, that you actually brought facts. And they've been in chats where people have just been talking. I've been on chat with Centena. People are just talking, and it's unbearable, of how disrespectful people are being to one another. And this, honestly, you guys that are in the chat that have your opinions that are going against or feeling like we're talking about things that we don't know what we're talking about, it's because you didn't see the beginning of this presentation. And Santana, I wish you had been at the very beginning, because it would have brought light to some of the questions that you even had when you came on.
Yes, and thank you so much for saying that, Chris, because we work so hard.
I
So
can
it's really
tell.
important for you guys to come in right at 4:30 Central Standard Time.
I
Yes,
I
ma'am.
appreciated it. Oh my God.
We hate to be a stickler, but we do organize our panels I know that there are panels where they're just getting on to go live,
And get the
and
hearts.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
not what we do here. But just know that you can go to YouTube and you'll find the link in Janice's bio, and you can get caught up on all of our previous lives. And what I will say is we're getting better. Like, we are getting better. So
Appreciate it.
we are really trying to build a community here. That's why we have the time set Monday through Friday from 4:30 to 7. So, even for some of you who just came in through the FYP, know that there is a set time that we actually do research. If we were to go live on the weekend, it's because there's breaking news and we have discussed it and we thought it would be pertinent to go live. We went live last Sunday when the picture of Nolan at the pool party broke. And that was after we started talking early in the morning when that stuff came out. We talked Mr. Sam all the way to the door of the church, and he was like, I got to go in now. So we discuss it, we think about it, we make sure that we can do some sort of verification on it, because I know that Rolling Stone and Don Lemon were trying to discredit people who were like running with the pool party picture. And, if for us, it was something as simple as the boy is in the same dang swim trunks as he was on July 4th. And you can't tell me that a teenage boy is running who lives in Gulf Shore and knows how to swim, is hanging around friends at friends' pool parties and on their boats all summer long, is going to wear the same swim trunks all summer. They have Marshalls, they have Target. I'm sure they got TJ Maxx, Ross, Belks, Dillard's. He has a couple of different pair of swim trunks.
And also, I want you guys to remember, so many people are saying the June 27th date, they provided the metadata. I have to say this multiple times every live, so hopefully if you guys see it, you can let them know that information can be changed in your phone. So we don't
And
believe.
it came from someone who was not at the party.
Yes.
Please know that Trayston Shepard was not at that party. He said it himself that he and his group of friends had been looking forward to the party for over a week. And then when the day came, he worked all day, and he had to get up the next morning to go to church. So he wasn't there. He didn't go.
Can I ask a question about Tristan? Because, okay, I want to ask a question. So is it true that the mother said he wasn't Noah's best friend, no best friend? That's what she said. She like, well, I don't know him. She
He
said,
said it.
huh?
He said
She
it.
said it.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
She
so why
said
would he
it.
get on there and say that though?
But okay, guys. So this is a group of, you got to remember that these are still like teenagers, and he's a clout chaser.
There
Like,
we go. Okay.
he wants the attention. He interjects himself into a story. And please notice that the news agencies, and I'm using air quotes, that they're contacting TMZ and Rolling Stone. Both of those have public tip lines. You can call them or you can email them, and they sift through the tips. Other news agencies, I don't know how he got an interview with ABC, but other news agencies, you got to be a little bit more polished to know how to get in contact with the newsroom and to sit with those reporters.
And
And the
read
thing
between the lines, y'all.
And the thing that
Yeah.
I always said is, where is his picture with Nolan on Horn Island on July 4th? Y'all posted this one picture of, maybe he saw Nolan in passing, was like, hey, dude, will you take a picture with me? He was like, sure. Like, y'all posted that. Show me the picture of him and Nolan at Horn Island. He
Taylor, can
wasn't.
I interrupt? I'm so sorry. Cigar saying that you can edit a picture or date when they share it to another platform, but can't change the date from the original. If you have the original phone, you can change the date. So you telling me they put the picture up and threw away their phone? That don't even make sense.
It's to
And that's
create
another,
chaos.
and
It's
that's
to create
another,
chaos.
To them, they think that makes sense. It makes
and
sense to
that's
them.
another reason.
It's
That's
stupid.
another reason that they're bringing the FBI in, guys.
If
Is
you can
because
fake
they
a
will have the resources if they're doing their job correctly. You
Who is
know,
this guy
it,
purchasing?
the FBI is being run a little bit differently than it was a couple of years ago. But they have the resources to go in and to see the metadata and when it's, how it's been altered and when it's been altered. The Jackson County Sheriff Department may not have those resources to do that. Ben Crump probably has the resources to do it, but Jackson City, that it doesn't appear that they do.
I
So
agree with
look,
you, Miss Shayla. The
yeah. So
people that
look,
run the government run the social media. They run
yeah,
the media. So
yeah.
those entities that run the government, ABC, Fox, TMZ, they're spinning narratives on certain podcasts and certain broadcasting because those are affiliated with government entities. Think about it. That's where the chaos agents go. But the actual culprits have yet to show their face.
So look, I got something for y'all again. Look, so I'm sitting as y'all talking. I'm thinking. I'm just sitting here thinking. So it's a lot of weird stuff going on because nowadays, like you said, he's a clout chasing the Tristan guy, right? But when Javon and his mother got on TMZ, they asked him, was there a fight on the boat? And was that Tristan? He said that was Tristan and he was holding Tristan back. But the mom didn't know Tristan. I get it. It'd be a whole lot of friends, right? But then another thing that triggered me was, another thing that's triggering me is, okay, Jovan, he wasn't only on a boat with the white guys, right? He was on a boat with all of them because that fight broke out. He did admit that he was holding the Tristan. Jovan admitted that he was holding the Tristan and got back. But what's confusing is this: only Jovan getting on TMZ, but you know that his brother was there too because the mother said, "I called Jovan and then I called Jalen and I asked him." Where is, have he seen Nolan? So why is Jalen not seeing nothing? So I don't know. It's a lot of weird stuff.
She called Javen first. So I don't know if his brother was on the island. I have not heard. He attends. He seems to be the quieter one. I did hear in passing. Again, I cannot verify this, but I did hear it from another content creator who apparently interviewed or had Javon's mom on his live, and they apparently butted heads. I can't even remember the name of the content creator. It was late at night and I'd be tired, y'all. So
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about, and he said they butted heads, and then they had exchanged numbers, and she was telling him that he was saying a lot of false stuff, right? That content creator you talking about?
yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
So she told him specifically that she didn't know that Javen was going to do the TMZ interview. I
Right,
And
went
right.
Shayla
back.
and Shayla Santana, I'm so sorry. We have to start wrapping up. We try to stay live only to 7.
uh,
Just to give everybody some time. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I was going
Um
to say she didn't know that Javen was going live on TMZ. So that's all I'm going to say.
Well, I would like to say something real quick and y'all can have it. Y'all know my spiritual self talking to the spiritual people. Um, one of the spiritual people said that the mom was aware of the interview. So she found her to have a lie. And she actually went under her post and said, you knew he was going to go. She's in fear too. I guarantee she's been threatened, but I'm not going to say that because I'm sure Javon has probably been threatened too to spin that narrative, but that's alleged. But it's so much deeper. The way of life in that place, those people have the power to say to certain people, if you do this, you'll lose your job. If you do this, we're going to do that. If you do this, we'll take one of yours. If you do this, and they're not going to say it out loud because they throw the rock and hide their hand. That's how it works there. I'm going to throw the rock and I'm going to hide my hand. But behind the scenes, I'm the mastermind. I'm the head dragon. That's how they work. And that's what they're doing. They're putting the melanated people in fear and they're making themselves to look relevant because they don't want you to know who they are.
Just to be fair, that since the TMZ interview, Javon and his mother have been, I think it was Abby Shepherd's show. They have been on Abby Shepherd's show with Ben Crump and Nolan's mom, Miss Christine.
Yeah.
So we need to be fair. Whatever Christine and Miss Christine and Ben Crump seem to be supporting them. So we need to be fair. I personally may not care for them. They may not share my values, but to be fair, Miss Christine and Ben Crump were there as they were being questioned and interviewed. And I want to say it was Abby Shepherd. It may not be Abby Shepherd, but it was somebody. And it was a panel, and the four of them were together being interviewed. So,
I agree, Miss Shayla.
so like she said, she didn't know that he was going to go on TMZ. We don't know what his motives were. I will tell you, TMZ does pay, and they pay. So maybe that could have been a motive, but no one was going looking for Javon. Javon had to go looking for them. And that's why I want y'all to pay attention. Even with Trayston, nobody was going looking for Trayston. Trayston had to go find them. No one knew who they were. Javon wanted to go on TMZ, allegedly, supposedly, to say that this was not a race thing. What I will say to him is, you are not old enough. And when I was 18, living in the suburbs, in mixed community, I might have thought that as well.
I agree.
But life has shown differently, and not to steal Don Lemon's phrase, old people be knowing, we as older people who have experienced life more, who have had to interact, they might not be saying the N word, but this is racially motivated, from the way that they did not give resources to locating Nolan, to the way that they wanted to cover up or just to declare this as an accidental drowning was racially motivated. The fact that they never reached out, the sheriff's department never reached out within the 72 hours to give an update to Nolan's parents was racially motivated. There are nuances to racism. It's not just always the racial slurs. And he is not old enough to know that. He really does think that these people have been his friend the whole time.
Yes, well, I just want to jump in. I know we are short on time. I do want to respond to Cigar. He did go and verify that metadata can be changed. And I want to say it's not about being right. We have to start checking things before we just say stuff online, because that's why this case is such a mess. Nobody is going back and fact checking. We can't just say things online without verifying. And that's exactly what we do. And we definitely appreciate you guys appreciating us for doing that. So I'm gonna give you guys Your last words, starting with Northside.
Yeah, I would just like to say, this is the job of white supremacy is basically to show that it doesn't exist. And right now, with this case, we can prove that it exists, and we can start getting justice. Because the only way we're gonna change it is with justice. And I just appreciate how you guys are just investigating and doing what you're supposed to do. But we need this FBI or whoever is going to investigate this case to do the same do the same thing you guys are doing. So if they're not, they are definitely behind the A-ball, and if we don't get justice, we're gonna have to still fight for this to get justice. So thank you for what you guys do, and thanks for having me on. And I land there.
Thank you. And Santina, this is your first time here. You were definitely wonderful. Did you want to say anything before we leave?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. I appreciate all of you ladies, and I just want to say God got his hands in this. That's all I'm going to say. He got his hands in it, and we're going to get some justice.
So thank you for those words, Jay.
Sorry, I know I was late, but just happy to see everybody back here. I hope everybody have a safe weekend. Don't even argue with the racism, the extra. Don't do none of that. But I'm happy to see everybody, and I hope you have a good weekend.
Thank you, Jay. Empress.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, you guys, for taking me in. I know it's my first time visiting. I will be back. I will be looking for you guys. I really appreciate the discussion, and everybody on the panel. Really helped me, see things in a different light. So I really appreciate it.
Yes. And Miss Glow.
I have two things to say, and y'all can have it. One, there was a gentleman who inboxed me yesterday after I got off your live and told me I was an internet girl. Hey, I'm back. Yes, I am an internet girl now, 5 years solo. And anything built on a unsturdy, rocky foundation is sure to crumble, is sure to fall. This is the fall of what it is. It's not on a good foundation. And that's it. I landed there.
Okay. And Clarity, we get to hear your beautiful voice today.
Hi, everybody. This is Clarity. And I just want to say that I thought I knew everything, but every day this case takes on new twists and turns. So I'm really happy to be a part of the community and support Shayla and Janice for all of their efforts. With that being said, I just want to say that if you are listening and you know anything, please, please, please reach out to Jackson County or Orange Springs Police Department or Christine herself to share any information you may have. I impart on you to do that. Thank you so much. See you guys next Monday.
Yes. And Shayla.
So thank you guys for allowing us to share what we have learned with you guys. I love what is being built here. To back up what Clarity is saying. If you do go to Jackson County Sheriff's to share, please make sure that you also share with Ben Crump and Christina Walmsley. Right now, the fact that Ben Crump is there, he is helping to balance and to make sure that there is some accountability so that we can see justice for Nolan. Also, be mindful of the information you take in. That's not saying to only get information from us, but try to be critical, think critically of that information. It is okay to question it. It is okay to research it. It is okay to do those things. That's the only way you can get to the truth. We don't share everything. Trust me, we've seen a lot of the stuff out there, but we don't share everything until we can kind of verify it and research it. Also, our DMs are open on Twitter and on X. So if y'all have something you want to share, feel free to reach out. The past 2 days, I've had 2 people share things with me. Britt, who couldn't come up, and Breezy. And their perspective and what they found was really did help things along. So I want to make sure that I'm shouting them out and giving them their flowers.
Yes, and I just wanted to add to that as well. If you guys send us something and you don't want to be named, we don't have to name you. But if you do allow us, we definitely want to give our sources. And that's something that I believe sets us apart. We always try to reference or provide sources. And also, just before we leave today, I just want to thank everybody on the panel, all of you guys in the chat, and also for all of you guys being respectful. And we just hope to see you guys Monday.
Make sure you start thinking of a name for us to call our community.
Yes.
Like, what would you want this community to be called?
It has to be something
Also, if
strong.
I may interject and remind everyone that Monday, July 20th is the scheduled funeral for Nolan. So we keep him and his spirit and his family and friends and loved ones in our thoughts and prayers.
And it's going to be streamed. It will be streamed.
Okay, good.
Yes. So we will see y'all Monday at 4:30. If we do come live on the weekend, we will put a note on social media so you guys will be aware. If so, it will be at 4:30 as well. Okay, well, we will see y'all Monday, and I hope y'all have a great weekend. Bye.
See y'all Monday. Y'all have a good one.
Bye, everybody.